A lot of people think that the best photos come from the best gear, but doing landscape photography for so many years, I realized the tool that improved my composition making isn't even a tool. In today's video I'm gonna tell you and show you how I make my compositions and what's for me the most important to see before I even take out my camera. And I got our first composition set, and before I took the camera out, I was looking around if it was even worth taking out the camera out of the bag. It's not always fun when you take off your backpack, put the camera onto the tripod and then realize this composition isn't really working out like I thought. But for today, I made sure before I took out the camera, this was a composition that I wanted to take. So the reason why I stopped and looked for this potential composition was this beautiful birch trees right in front of us. They have that beautiful golden leaves on them, and with the white bark, they are really standing out in this landscape. And in the back of the composition, you can see on top, we got those darker pine trees. You can also see a piece of the sky, but I'm gonna try to crop that out. And with the golden leaves or the yellow leaves on this tree, and with the darker background, they're really popping out of this composition. What made the composition a little bit more interesting is we got other pine trees on the sides of this composition, and they are making up for our natural frame around this composition. And also here on the bottom, you can see those brown ferns, and the ferns are our foreground element to create more depth. I also photographed this photo with an f number of 5 because I really wanted to have a shallow depth of field in this picture to make the birch trees even stand out a little bit more into this landscape. So our foreground is out of focus, and then we got our pine trees in the back. They're also going to be a little bit softer than our birch trees. For our next potential composition, I haven't even took out my camera yet because I'm still looking a little bit. Here in the forest there's a birch tree, and everything else around it is like brown and greens, but we can only see the trunk of this beech tree. I'm gonna try to make it stand out from this environment, from the landscape here. And because the trunk is white, it really caught my eye. But then I was like, I really need to have a really good composition before I'm gonna take out my camera. I think I need to go again with the tele-lens with a shallow depth of field again to really make it pop out of this environment, because behind this birch tree we got some other tree trunks and branches, and I don't want them to be in focus. We got a beautiful fern leaf just going behind this birch tree. I think that's a nice extra element in this photo. And we got in the front, we got 2 trees. Maybe I can make them our natural elements or natural frame for this composition. I did an old conversation without pushing the record button, so I have to start over again. So we're gonna dive in this composition, and you can see here on the screen we got our beautiful birch tree that is our main subject in this composition. I've made it stand out from this environment that it's in, and with doing that I needed some elements to be sharp and out of focus also. And you can see on the bottom of our composition we got a beautiful soft border of elements that are out of focus in this composition. You can also see underneath the tree trunk we got some ferns that are in focus, and that creates for an extra element in this picture. You can see from almost in the middle we got that other tree coming in from the left with those beautiful yellowish and brown leaves that are in front of our birch tree. those branches are already a little bit more into focus, but still out of focus. So we still get that depth. And you can see after our birch tree, after that tree trunk, everything is super soft. We got that beautiful color palette from the green spots or the green leaves that are coming into this composition. We got those browns, we got the darker branches, and then we got our white birch tree, the trunk of it, and that's so beautiful. It's an eye catcher. So that's a little bit of my thought process for this composition. So make the tree trunk stand out and have some elements that are out of focus to create a depth. Later on, when I'm going back to the car, it's going to be very hard because the way up here was always going down. So in the end of this video, I have to go up again onto this hill. So that's going to be super hard. I just found a composition that I'm not quite sure of. It's this birch tree here on the other side of this lake, and it's super beautiful. We got those darker pines surrounding it. We got that beautiful reflection here. I'm also wondering what lens that I need for this composition to work. Should I include the other birch trees here, the yellow leaves here in this composition, or should I try to go a little bit further to the water? But now from this angle I'm more at eyesight of this tree. So there's only one option left to do. Take the camera out, but not our actual camera, but our cell phone. And I'm gonna see if I can frame up the composition with my phone, something like that. So it could maybe work with including the leaves of this birch tree, but I think it's the best to not include it and only go for that birch tree on the other side of this lake with the reflection, or even without the reflection. So I'm gonna put something onto the camera and see what we can get here. I tried it with the 50mm. I got a little bit too much reflection of the sky into the water, or even through the pine trees we got a little bit too much sky. And I think I have to go even lower to not include the birch trees here with me, because it's just like creeping into the frame, and it's like, where does it come from? We don't need that. But I think I'm gonna go for just for fun, one with the tele lens, just only the birch tree without the reflection, and see if that's a fun composition, if it's something worth. So sometimes we have to even try stuff, and even if we're not sure about it, I'm trying to include or not include the sky as much as possible, because out of the pine trees there's a lot of sky coming through, and I don't really like that. So the one with the Tamron 100 to 400 really worked out actually very nice, because yeah, the tree is standing out from this environment. I've put on the 50mm now, and we have to go a little bit closer. I finally made it to a place where I can stand and not have the birch trees or the leaves from that birch tree into our compositions from the sides. But I'm standing on this hillside, and now it's autumn, with all the leaves onto the ground. It's very slippery now. So I've slipped a few times. I fell in some thorns here on this hillside. 50mm onto the body. I'm gonna need to crop it out. The light is actually very good now. It's super soft. It's coming from the side because it's almost sunset. Yeah, it's already starting. So I have to be quick for this composition to make it very beautiful. Oh no, the sun has started to shine onto this forest. So it's actually ruining my composition a little bit. I was not expecting this because now the sunlight is lighting up the tops of our pine trees, and it's actually a little bit too bright for my taste. So I guess we have to do it with this. I'm not gonna wait for the sun to disappear because here in this lake it's super beautiful. I think I want to have a picture with all this reflection, the beautiful autumn trees, a little bit of sky in it because it's super beautiful at the moment. But normally we shouldn't get a beautiful sunset. So let me know what you think of this or of these two beautiful compositions. These are very simple. It's our birch tree against the pine trees. It's standing out with its colors. I've framed up our last composition for this video, and I've put on the Tokina 11 to 60 millimeters, and I'm using the leaves of this birch tree coming in to the right side of our composition. I've placed an other birch tree, the trunk of it, or a big branch of it, into the left side of our composition. The foreground itself is not that interesting. The sky at the moment is super clear onto this lake. So we got a beautiful, bright spot leading our eye into this composition. And then with all the trees around this lake, they are all in autumn colors. I will show you. You can see all the trees here. So beautiful. So the composition is actually a little bit like this, like you see it. The tree here in the corner, this tree branch here of this birch tree, and a little bit more sky. So something like this is our composition. 5 minutes ago was much nicer than now. Now there's a big cloud rolling in, so I think we had the best moment, but I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. It's not gonna be pleasant walking up onto this hill again towards the car in the dark, but it's all for the photos. If you're liking this video so far, please give it a thumbs up because it will help grow this channel a little bit more. It's free, so just like it. The big cloud is still coming into the landscape. I'm just gonna wait this out till it's dark. But for tomorrow, that's gonna be next week's video. It's gonna be amazing, if I can believe the predictions. It should be misty, but super misty. So I guess we're gonna have some amazing forest misty conditions tomorrow morning. So my secret weapon for finding compositions isn't gear, but it's actually our mind and eyes to really go out, look at your environment, and when you think you see something like, oh I like that, that's the key moment when you maybe have to take out your camera and photograph that scene that you're seeing, or maybe first look around if you can see a bit of foreground elements, leading lines in that composition. So train yourself, go out, look around, and start shooting. The magic is happening in the back of our composition, and with the Tokina 11 to 60 millimeters, it's so small that it's not even wow. Oh man, this sucks to see something nice happening and not be at a place where it could be much better. And let's pray you will see an amazing photo. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.